Welcome back to the channel, my fellow Jedi and Sith, and today we're going to be breaking down the major differences between a Galaxy's Edge lightsaber and a third-party Neopixel. And we're going full dark side, baby girl. Before we start the video, shop.clinkerscloset.com to get this beautiful Ahsoka Tano merch. Go freaking karate kick that link in the description below. Go check it out. You will not regret it. You better go click that link. The first saber we will be breaking down is Kylo Ren's lightsaber from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This is what's called a legacy lightsaber. I bought this with my own money. Same thing for the Neopixel. This is not a sponsored video, just a consumer wanting to give advice to other consumers. I bought this lightsaber maybe a couple months ago when I was in Galaxy's Edge for the Galaxy's Edge meetup. If you know, you know. And I am currently working on building a Force Awakens Kylo Ren cosplay. So technically this is part 2 to building Kylo Ren, if you remember that series. But starting with just the bare hilt, it is made of metal for the most part. This wire right here is real rubber. It's separate from the hilt. You can kind of pull on it a little bit. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know how strong this is, but there is that kind of craftsmanship put into the hilt. It's metal. You can hear my ring tap against it. The only part on this hilt that is plastic is, I think, the interior right in here where the blade locks in, which I'll show you later, and the actual switch right here, which does not work while there's no main blade in it. All you need to do is take your side blades and they literally just slot and twist in. Very easy. And same thing for the main blade, and it makes a little sound. That's cool. When flipping this up, the blade comes on, you get the crackle, you get the swooshes. And one of my favorite parts about this is that it feels like something Kylo Ren would use. It's very heavy and rigid, and it's a little difficult to swing around, but I also feel like that's kind of the point. I think I bought the saber for about $230 at Disney, and that is the blade included as well because you do have to buy blades separately. But yeah, a good little lightsaber. Now moving things along with the Neopixel. You can already tell I like this one more. This is my Fallen Mark II from Padawan Outpost. This is probably the best thing I've ever spent any money on. Full metal hilt, just like Disney, but this feels a little bit more premium. It feels a little bit more realistic. There's a different sound when my ring touches it. To me, I don't know if that means anything. That sounds better. That sounds higher quality. You can also tell that the blade is way brighter and the speaker is way louder. One of the huge perks of having a Neopixel is the smooth swing as well. There is no delay. It's 100% on time, and this is a very sensitive hilt. You can also do things such as tip drag and a saber lock. You can also change the color. Just let go of the button to pick your color, so we'll turn red to green. Little dementia frog I am. And there is also a multitude of different sound fonts, each one extremely customizable to fit your needs.
You will be Empress. We will be one.
Here is Dark Array. Darth Maul.
There's a cunning warrior.
You were the chosen one!
He was a good friend.
You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
Anakin Skywalker. And a multitude of other sounds. I mean, it is literally endless. All you have to do is man, that's really tight. Unscrew this bottom part of the saber and you have what is called your chassis. Mine has an external battery within it, and right here is your micro SD, which you can use to upload and remove sounds to make this completely customizable. I bought this saber from Padawan Outpost, and it cost me, after shipping, blade included, about $340. It also took about 9 days to ship and get to my house from the UK over to Florida in the US. So now that I've explained the bare bones of each saber, we're gonna compare the two and talk about which one is the right purchase for you. The main perks of this saber compared to the Neopixel is going to be that Galaxy's Edge is all about the experience. When you go to Galaxy's Edge, you get to experience the world around you, and when you buy a lightsaber there, you literally become a Jedi or Sith in Star Wars, which is freaking wild. That is a huge perk that buying Galaxy's Edge sabers has over any lightsaber in the market, is that you get to create a memory with this thing that you'll never forget. I also think that while the technology within the saber might not be as high as your standard Neopixel, it is pretty solid for about $200. It depends on which hilt you get. Kylo's is a little more expensive because he's got the side blades, of course, and it's just a really hefty boy. I would say this hilt probably weighs like anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds, which is heavy for a lightsaber. But it also feels cool when you're holding it in hand. It feels like a freaking longsword. It feels awesome. Not to mention, you don't have to pay for shipping. You can pick it up, you can play with it in the park, and take it home all in the same day. And something that this saber also comes with, and I think this is only Kylo's, he does come with a belt clip that you can actually latch onto this gold piece here and attach to your belt, and is also just straight up included in that bare price of $170 for just the hilt, I think. The blade is an extra $50. Now, of course, the Neopixel is going to be the better of the two sabers. It's much more balanced. The Galaxy's Edge saber is very heavy on the hilt side, where the blade is much lighter. This one is way easier to spin. It's a little bit more comfortable in the hand. The hilt is not nearly as thick. Of course, that also varies on which character you pick. The extreme level of customization on this thing is unrivaled, and the Neopixel blade itself is extremely impressive with its smooth ignition. Not to mention, you can hold, I think, up to 30 different lightsaber sounds on here, each one very customizable when it comes to ignition, blade type, blade stability, and color. Getting to the downsides of this though, this I had to paint and weather myself. You can buy a Disney lightsaber and it will be fully painted, fully weathered for you right out of the box. And it's not that hard to weather a lightsaber, but there's also a risk factor included as well, because you have to bring paint and water and scratch up some very expensive parts that you might maybe run the risk of breaking. You also have to pay for shipping on something like this. You cannot just run out to Walmart and go pick it up, or run out to Galaxy's Edge and go pick it up. You have to ship it. And at least from where I bought mine, it was from overseas. So it's not the easiest thing to just buy and get to your house. It takes a little bit of time. Now, that being said, Padawan Outpost does have really fast shipping. This video is not sponsored by Padawan Outpost, but if you wanna send me a free lightsaber, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna say no. Hit me up. Hit me up. Just ringy dingy. And the final comparison is price point, because a lot of times when you're buying something, that's what it comes down to, how much money you're willing to spend on it. Now, I did get this lightsaber slightly on sale, but it still costed me about $340 to get the saber and get it shipped to my home, which is a lot of money. But that's the point of this video, is to weed out all the details, all the nitty-gritties, and present you guys with the clearest information on what lightsaber you should buy. That was kind of hot. That was hot, wasn't it? Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you walked away from this a little bit more informed on what you want to waste your money on. JK, we're not wasting it. We're spending it on things that make us happy. That's perfectly valid. Explain that to my parents, please. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I will see you next time. And as always, may the Force be with you.